Hey Crossway, this month's book recommendation is Here I Stand, A Life of Martin Luther by Roland Bainton. This is a particularly good book to read around Reformation Day, October 31st. That's the day when historians consider the Protestant Reformation to have officially kicked off. If you're not familiar, Martin Luther on October 31st, 1517, nailed his famous 95 Theses on the door of the church in Wittenberg, Germany. And this kicked off not a little controversy within the Roman Catholic Church at that time, eventually leading Martin Luther to leave the church, and so began the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation is a movement that we today as evangelicals are heirs of. The Protestant Reformation is a protest movement, protesting against the Catholic Church, specifically with the teachings at that time that really obfuscated and twisting the doctrine of salvation. And it is a reform movement. It was not set out to start a new church, but really to reform the church, specifically around the matter of the doctrine of justification by faith alone. And so this book is a biography that follows the life of Martin Luther in chronological order, showing how he came to an understanding of the Bible's teaching that one is justified and saved by faith alone, not by works. And in so doing, in those controversies with Rome, we see that Luther also arrives at the position of what we today call the doctrine of sola scriptura, that Scripture alone is our supreme authority for faith and practice. By no means is this a dry book. This book is super interesting. Roland Bainton does a great job writing it, and Martin Luther himself is just a super interesting figure. There are plenty of quotes from Martin Luther himself in the book, and those alone are worth the price of it. Luther was an incredible writer and communicator, a great theologian, and just an interesting person. I found myself laughing as I read this book. He's just funny, and he's a bit bizarre at times. This is a great book to read if you're someone who likes biographies. It's a great book to read if you want to know more about the Protestant Reformation and our heritage as evangelicals. I would also commend this book to someone who struggles with depression or melancholy, or if you're someone who struggles with assurance of your salvation. Those are things that Luther himself deeply dealt with, and he can be a great encouragement to you as well, I think. And so I encourage you to go ahead and pick up a copy.